As of right now, we are seeing schools all across America close down. Why? Well, they say it's because of budget cuts. They do not have the money to keep them open. But there could be a little bit of a secret plan in place as to why some schools are closing down. The plan is to make students go remote. Now I want to explain what's going on here and why a billionaire could be pushing this plan, because this would actually benefit him and his company. So I want to break down what's going on. I will do that in just a moment, but all I ask is one thing. It takes 2 seconds. Go ahead, hit that like button if you enjoy these daily updates, and now let's begin. So let's first address the problem with schools. We are seeing schools all over the United States. They are consolidating. We have 2 middle schools turn into 1. 2 high schools turn into 1. I've even seen where 3 elementary schools turned into 1. And those classrooms were just packed. I want to show you this. It says massive budget cuts and layoffs announced for K through 12 will devastate schools across the United States. Look at this. This says Vancouver, Washington. High school students walked out last week to protest a 250 teacher layoff. A student sign demands fund school, not war, just days before Biden signed a bipartisan spending bill that includes a record $886 billion for war, including the reckless nuclear confrontation with Russia and China. Now, I don't want to get into all of that, but this is what many people are discussing. Why are we spending billions and billions of dollars here, but yet we cannot focus on our children and schools? Look at this one. It says Humes Middle School, MLK College Prep High School in Memphis set to close this year. If you look online, you see a bunch of these. Here's another one. Concern over WCS budget prompt school closure proposal. We're seeing this all over the place. Schools are shutting down. Here's another one. It says DCPS continues school closure discussions. DeSantis stands behind push amid declining enrollments. This is one of the problems. We are seeing less people enroll in public school because of a few things. One, because of what they're teaching. That's a big one. 2, because of classroom sizes. There are so many students per one teacher that many parents, myself included, are a little concerned about putting our children in a public school where you may see 35 to 45 students and 1 adult. That's not what we need. Now, this is the big thing though. There's actually a way to get around this where you can potentially have a little more structure, but it's an interesting way to move forward. I want to show you this. It says how Mark Zuckerberg is reimagining the classroom with Quest. Mark Zuckerberg, okay? This is the Meta Quest. Obviously his company is Meta or Facebook. And the reason why I bring all this up is because they want to put these headsets right here on our children. They want us to learn using software that's on this VR headset. Let me read this to you. It says, imagine stepping onto a school bus and embarking on an immersive educational journey through the human body. Not in a fictional episode of the Magic School Bus, but in real life. It says Meta aims to make this experience a reality for students digitally through its Quest virtual reality headsets. Now, I want to read you one other thing from this, but just think about that. You put on a headset, whether it's the Quest, the Meta Quest, or you put on, let's say, the Apple Vision Pro or whatever. You put on some type of headset, and now they can do so much more. They can show you different things. You can learn through it, especially with the Apple Vision Pro. right? You can put up multiple screens. You can type. You can communicate with other students, with other teachers. You can still see the people in that classroom as well, but all this can be virtual. You can tell students, hey, I need you to put on your Meta Quest at this time. We are going to have our classroom session from, say, 8:30 a.m. to 10 a.m., right? Every single day. This is what we're going to. Just look at this. It says later this year, Meta will introduce new software for educators to facilitate the use of VR headsets in classrooms. These tools will enable teachers to manage and program multiple Quest headsets simultaneously, access a variety of education-related apps, and have greater oversight and control over students' use of the devices. Now, think about this for a second. What would be the benefit of a teacher telling everyone to put on a VR headset and sit in the classroom? This is why some believe that if we go down this path and we start giving students a VR headset, this is just going to keep going into the kind of the next option, the next solution is to just shut down all schools. Let's make school a remote learning experience. Because if you look at all the people that were going to public school that are now doing remote private school, there's millions of people doing this. And all this happened because of the pandemic. Many people did not go back to public schools. That's one of the reasons why we are seeing so many schools close, because they do not have the people there. The enrollments are way down. But here's another thing, because I was talking to a friend of mine a couple weeks ago, and this is exactly what he brought up. That why would he send his kids to a school so they could potentially be at risk of a threat? Well, look at this. It says parents on edge after more threats of violence prompt closures at Oahu private schools. This was just from a couple days ago. I want to show you another one. It says bomb threat closes New Jersey school district on Thursday. This is today. Okay? This is today. It says school officials initially had planned a delayed opening, but apparently changed their minds. Guess what? If you have a virtual headset on, you have the Apple Vision Pro, you don't need, or if there's a bomb threat at a school, guess what? You're not there. You are at home, hopefully the safety of your home, which maybe nobody knows your address, which would be great. And then you don't have to worry about that stuff, right? You don't have to close the entire school. If a certain kid has, let's say their internet goes out, or they have no power at their home, maybe then they can't get on. But for everyone else, there's still classroom as normal, right? School still goes on. Look at this one, because it's not just in the United States. Look at this one. It says North Toronto High School closed due to a bomb threat. This is what we continue to see. And it's not just in the United States, it's all over the world. So think about this for a second. Schools are running out of money. They're not having the enrollments that they need to bring in more funding. So what do? They shut down a school, they consolidate others, move all the students to those. Now they have more students in each classroom. The teachers already feel overworked and underpaid. Now they're laying off teachers, and still they're underpaid. So all this stuff is going on while right now there's a push to go remote. And if there's a push to go remote and multiple billionaires are behind this, I have a feeling we are going to see more and more schools go remote very soon. This means maybe you have a Vision Quest or a Apple Vision Pro, right? Maybe you have all these things that you are going to use. But my guess is within the next 10 years, we are going to see more schools go remote. People will be doing online learning, and we are going to do away with probably 50% of the teachers that we have. So all I can tell you right now, be ready. This might be the new normal, and billionaires are pushing this not just for our students, but for their profits as well. So we'll see what happens moving forward. All I can tell you is I will be here every step of the way. I'll fill you in on all the latest news and updates as soon as we get them. But again, that is what we know as of today. So again, thank you guys for watching. Consider subscribing, and I'll see you guys on the next one.